Alright, it's time to settle this. Which PRS is worth getting? Hey gang, what is going on? So today we're going to be comparing my PRS DGT versus my PRS CE24 and kind of telling you which one I think you should get. Now the whole reason this video is even coming about is just because of how many people have messaged me or commented asking which one do you like best? Which one, should I get? Is it the CE or the DGT? And I'm like, well, to be honest, they're so different. It's hard to recommend like, oh, well, just get this one, because obviously the DGT is more expensive, but the CE, I mean, it just does so much. It's such a well-rounded guitar. So I thought I would do a comparison video strictly of these two guitars. We're going to be using the Axe effects for everything. This is not a sponsored video in any way. These are my personal guitars. And I think it's going to be it. Like I said, you guys can tell me what you think. I'm going to give you my opinions at the end of the video. And we're just going to dive on into it. Like I said, Axe effects for tones, guitars, my crappy hands are going to try to play the best they can. So here we go. Alright, so clean tones are up first. Let's get the cleans just out of the way. We'll get right to the distortion. Now, you're going to hear everything coil split. One of my favorite things that PRS, and in my opinion, they do better than anyone else that I've heard, is the way they split or tap, whatever it's called. People always mention that PRS do something that's a little bit different, but I just love the way that their humbuckers split. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to have some reverb on here. I know some people are like, no, we want just dry, clean tones. That, to me, is just the worst thing ever. I don't want to hear that. So we are going to keep reverb on here. You're going to hear all three positions, and then I'm going to go back to the middle position, which is my main kind of like every time I use a PRS clean, I'm pretty much always middle position split, and that's the clean sound. So here's the CE and the DGT. Alright, time for them low to mid gain tones. Now, this one I'm going to do the same thing, except you're going to have full humbucker mode on here, and I'm going to use bridge, middle, neck, and then I'm going to go back to the bridge. That's the main area I use this stuff in. I do a lot of the coil split, neck pickup, low gain stuff. I'm not doing any of it in this video. I've done that in a bunch of other ones. But I do think that both these guitars excel at that. So I'm just going to focus on the raw humbucker tones for this section, and you guys can tell me what you think. There is some reverb, and let's rock and roll, man. More gain, the lead tones. Now, like I said, higher gain stuff is really not what I use my PRSs for. It's more of that low gain, clean sound. Amazing guys like Leon Todd and all that stuff play more heavy music on it, and they excel at that as well. But that's not really my forte when I'm playing these guitars, but I'm going to do it here anyways. We're going to crank the gain up, add some delay, play some 80s solos, pretend to be Key Marcello here for a minute, and then you'll hear the bridge and the neck. I never really use the middle position whenever I'm doing any kind of lead stuff on either PRS. So here we go. Verdict time, CE, DGT. Which one's the best guitar? Well, what did you guys think, first of all? Because for me, again, just like what I said in the beginning, they're very different. They feel very different. It's not so much a this or that situation. And in my opinion, I think that the CE, with the price point, because it's still expensive, but the price point and all that kind of stuff, I think the CE is the best guitar that PRS makes. It does so much, it's so versatile that, you know, even though the cores have different areas that I like more than a couple spots on the CE, I just feel like the CE, I've played SEs, S2s, private stocks, all that kind of stuff. I just really feel like the CE it's like such a sleeper. I don't hear a lot of people talk about them, but man, I think that it's the best guitar that PRS makes overall, considering the price. Now, there are a few things that I like, you know, substantially better, where I think it might warrant the upcharge, where you're going to have to venture into a core. So one of the big areas, though, that is probably the biggest deciding factor of to maybe avoid the CE and go for a DGT or 22 or 24, you know, whatever McCarty, is the neck. Now, the neck shape on the CE is not my favorite. It's a very flat neck. I like the matte finish on it, but the DGT has a much more comfortable neck, more of that C profile, rounded. And like I said, all the other PRSs, I basically like the shape of the neck on all the other PRSs more than the CE. So that's one of the biggest drawbacks to the CE. It is, of course, a bolt-on neck. So I think if you're more of like a Strat guy, you might end up liking the CE more than this stuff. And obviously, it goes without saying, the McCartys and the DGTs are more of a Les Paul player's kind of bag of tricks if you're wanting that guitar that does similar stuff to that. Now, the sounds of the guitar, again, to me, were different. You can, you know, be the judge of that. Obviously, YouTube compresses things a lot, so it's probably not as drastically different as what I'm hearing in the room. But I like the pickups in the DGT a lot more. I think the 85, I believe they're 8515s in the CE are a little bit, well, they're quite a bit hotter, but I feel like the DGT pickups are a little bit more versatile, a little bit more, I think they're lower output, so they give this width to them that I think the 8515s just don't have. So that's just my opinion. You know, everyone's going to EQ their stuff differently, so you could probably get the same tones out of it. And like I said, to me, the tones, the DGT wins a little bit, but I like the snap of the CE24. So there's a certain snap that guitar has with that bolt-on neck. Like I said before, if you're a Strat guy, you might really lean towards that CE24. And the final thing here is just the comfort of playing. I don't believe you can get this particular neck profile. I think it's kind of exclusive to the DGTs. Again, you PRS aficionados can let me know. But I like the bigger carve on the body than the CE. So these are all things that, you know, you really need to try to play each one of these to get your feel for them. But, you know, the CE, you're going to have more snap. You got that bolt-on neck. Overall, I think the DGT wins. So I think that guitar to guitar, the DGT is the winner. You know, considering price and features, I think the CE might be the winner and that kind of stuff. So, like I said, I think it's the best guitar. They make price considered. You know, if you want the crazy, super fancy tops and all that stuff, then you're going to have to, you know, pay the premium for it. But other than that, I think that's it, guys. Overall, I'd say yes, I think they are. But if you don't care about things like fancy tops and you're going to put your own pickups in it and all that kind of stuff, man, check out the CEs or maybe even go S2. So I'm going to bounce out of here, guys. Let me know what you think down below. Is it worth it? And I will be seeing you all later. Subscribe, like, out of here. Whoop!